Good morning once again to all the teachers. I welcome all the guests of the day and also the panelists of the day. I welcome Mr. Ashish
It's 11
Dalani,
o'clock.
our Global CTO at Square Panda Incorporation India. And also he heads the units in US and China for the technology aspects. Our second guest of honor today is Mr. Ravi Santlani, the CEO of School News, the most dynamic guy in the preschool industry. And one person, as I was saying just before this program, to have the numbers of all the teachers in the preschool to the principals to the governor of the country. So we have Ravi with us and we have Mr. Ashish. Our panelists for the day today, our expert Lieutenant Colonel Shekhar, and with him would be Miss Kajal Chatija. Miss Kajal Chatija is, for Colonel, I would just say two words: soldier educationist, as he always likes to describe himself. For Miss Kajal, she is the principal of the RIM school at Pune, and your host Chanda Murjani here from Team SquareTales. So welcome to the show. Between and Ashish, who would like to start? Ravi. Okay, so let's have Ravi coming in soon. Yeah, Ravi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Chandar, for inviting me. Of course, I mean, I'm the least eligible person to be on a panel here, but thank you, and Ashish, glad to see you finally. I mean, we have been speaking on the emails and a lot of other platforms, but so nice to see you all digitally. And I think, I mean, I will not have much to share today. I mean, I respect all the teachers who are listening to this particular webinar, so I don't really want me to kind of go over the board and kind of share a lot of stuff, but I'll just introduce myself. My name is Ravi Santlani, and I run a very small media platform called School News, which very largely focus on K-12 education in India. And we have been researching, writing, and presenting thousands of stories about the Indian education ecosystem since past 4 years or so. And every single one of these stories has one thing in common, and that is the teacher. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the teachers of this country, without whom none of us would have been here on the webinar. I may not have done well in life professionally, but people know me for my ethics, honesty, and truthfulness, and a large credit of that goes to my teachers beside my parents. And I think a lot has been said about the role of teachers already, and a lot will be, of course, discussed today by these distinguished set of speakers uh, that Chandar and his team has handpicked for this session. But I will humbly request you all to close your eyes for a few seconds and ask yourself this one question: did my teacher from my school time played an important role in shaping me in what I am today? And I'm pretty sure that you will get the answer. So I think the entire nation is coming out in the balconies, and they are, patting the back of the doctors and paramedics and the police personals. I mean, for doing what they're doing, and they're calling them Corona warriors. And yesterday we had a webinar where one of the panelists, shared this, that when teachers are the Corona warriors as well. I mean, they are sitting at home. I mean, imagine, all of you would have left your house at 7 in the morning when the times were normal, and you would have reached your school and be there till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then come back and kind of take care of your other duties. But right now, what you are doing is, a much larger portion of work that you're doing. I mean, you're multitasking. I mean, you're better than Google Chrome, I must say. And you are handling your husbands. I mean, you're handling your kids and your wives and basically your spouses, and a lot of other stuff which goes in. I mean, the cleaning stuff, and then going and taking online lessons and attending these webinars. And when it comes to webinars, I mean, I've been looking that there is a trend right now on social media to quash, this webinar model which is going on. I mean, people are showing, visuals. I mean, wherein a guy is saying, another webinar, and the other one is slapping them. Enough of webinars. But I think, what people like Chandar are doing, and I thank Square Panda team for bringing this kind of series, because there are a lot of teachers out there who were never exposed to the speakers like Colonel Sekhar. I mean, Ashish joining us, Kajal ma'am and Swati ma'am, unfortunately, you couldn't be here. And a lot of others, I mean, who are now going online. I mean, a lot of speakers who would have otherwise charged a bomb to come to conferences and speak. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of teachers, across the country are benefiting from it. So I think and everyone is doing it. But I think it is good for teachers, wherein experts from around the ecosystem come and they're talking to these people, because we all need to understand that we need to talk with each other to learn and make the most out of this particular pandemic. And I sincerely thank Chandar and Ashish and the entire SquareTales team for bringing these series of webinars. And I've watched a couple of them on social media, and I think a great engagement. I mean, look at this. I mean, the entire Zoom is full. The capacity is 1067 and going up. And I'm sure another couple of thousand people watching it live on social media. So I think this is the kind of thing, I mean, that we need to do. I mean, let's not kind of of negative stuff, fee fiasco, and all these things. The only request to all you teachers with folded hands: do not get diverted from your basic job of teaching the kids. I've been seeing a lot of teachers on social media posting that we are teachers and whatever may come, we will not stop teaching. And I think, I mean, a big salute to all you teachers.
Thank you, Ravi, for joining us to share more about what you have been doing for the fraternity. It would be too small for me in this time to share, but yeah, you've been doing a lot for the COVID warriors, including the policemen, including the people who are at the forefront, the doctors and all, by making the thousands of face shields with the school news team is making. If you can just give 30 seconds to that and just inform, that's something which people need to know. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was when the lockdown was announced, and I am a person who doesn't like to stay home, except Saturday half days and Sunday entirely with my family. So a friend of mine from Mumbai reached out to me that, hey, we are making these face shields for the frontliners, and I'd like to request you to spread the word since you have the largest database, and if you could help us crowdfunding and all. And we gladly did that. And I asked him, I mean, if there's anything that I can do more for you. And he said that, Ravi, I think you can make these face shields in Jaipur and help these frontliners over there. And then I said, I'm not a manufacturer, I'm a media person, I don't know how to do this. He said, everything is open source. I mean, I'll give you a little video and I'll teach you how to do that. And he taught us how to do that. And I'm not sure if I have that face sheet here, but something like this. So now we are making these face shields. I think till date, 56,000 face shields we have made and we have delivered to the doctors, the paramedics, the dairy booth owners, the Safai Karamcharis, the police personals, and a lot of praises come from the Commissioner Police and a lot of nodal officers from the high-risk areas and all. So I think it was about, a great learning for us that, how a pandemic and how a worse situation can also bring a lot of opportunities for you. And I think it was all this while since last 40 years or so. I mean, we have been reading, giving back to the society, and I was only reading, but this time I think, I got that feeling. How does it feel to give back to the society? And I think, this is moksha even before you die. So I think the entire team is happy. The volunteers and everyone who's coming to office, we haven't stayed home even a single day. We are keeping safe, and we have helped over 56,000 people to get that protection, who are fighting the pandemic from front lines to save all of us. So that was something. And we are crowdfunding, and there are people who are generously donating, or otherwise, there are also a lot of educators who have anonymously donated. But I think we are pretty fine, and we are really happy during this pandemic, and we are not at all depressed or about the entire scene. Thank you, Chandra, for mentioning that. I think that was really great
Sure.
for you to
Thank you, Ravi. Now we bring in the next guest of honor, Mr. Ashish Jalani, our global CTO.
So first of all, before anything else, Ravi, enormous things you guys are doing. I think very inspiring for a lot of us that we try, right? And we may not succeed at the level that you've been able to do. So I think that's just a lot of praise to you and your teams to be able to contribute to everything that's happening. And same, I like to echo what you said about teachers, because all of us wouldn't be here. And that includes any of us, right? There is no exception to that. May that teacher be in the school, maybe that teacher be a parent at home, our older brothers or our older siblings. Every one of them has contributed to what we have done and what we will be doing, right? So I think I like to echo that, that, like everybody else that we're talking about in the pandemic, that is contributing, teachers still are ones that are not talked about a lot outside of these kinds of forums. And we should make sure that they get their share of praise for what they do. And my two children are continuing to learn from home. The teachers are running the classes as best as they can from sitting at home. And, they have, the surprising thing is they have a PE section, right? Physical education. I was wondering, from home, how's the teacher going to actually do this, right? So the funny part is they actually found a very creative way to get the children to get up and do things and take a video and share it with the class or whatever, right? Now, a very unique thought to how PE can be done at home. And again, thanks to all the teachers out there that come up with all these great ideas, etc. And again, Chandler, great job as to putting this kind of a forum together, bringing, like Ravi said, I heard from multiple people over the last few days that...
a little louder, please, sir. Sorry to interrupt.
Sure,
please,
sure.
a little louder, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
So has brought together people that they've never heard from in other forums, and that they're glad that that there are people coming from all across India to share their views today. Lieutenant Colonel Shaker is here again with us, and Ms. Kajal is here. But over the last 6 days, Chandra, you brought a whole bunch of people that most of us have never heard from. And when we have, it's only to a few of us here. This gives us a much broader audience to go after. So anyway, I think as far as the forum is concerned, I think it's worked out very well. And thanks to all the teachers for coming, participating, and really giving the forum a true place, right? It doesn't matter if Chanda could have brought everybody in the world, but if the teachers didn't come and participate in the thousands, the place this forum deserves would not exist. So congratulations to Chander, to every member, the panelists, and all the teachers for making it into a true forum for all of us, right? Very quickly, I won't take too much time because I want to make sure everybody gets to the topic of the day. But very quickly, just give you the genesis of why we're doing all this as a company, why Square Panda exists today. Basically, we started in the Valley, in Silicon Valley, about 5 years ago with our founder, Andrew Butler, looking for a solution for his own daughter, right? This is a very personal story. This is not a story where some corporate honcho thinks of an idea and creates it, right? This is truly about providing learning and literacy to children, okay? And it comes from him wanting something for his daughter, okay? And that's how we started. Today, our vision is to provide English literacy to millions of kids, and literally, we won't stop until we do. And one of our chairman of the board, not one of the board members, but chairman of our board, Andre Agassi, which you all know as a tennis legend, says with education, there is hope, right? He believes that he could not get the education that he should have gotten. And as such, he became a tennis player. Not a bad thing, as an alternate thing where you couldn't get it and you become the #1 tennis player in the world. But he says that the opportunities could have been much more for him. And we at Square Panda really work on that vision of Andre's to make sure that we create a very research-oriented product for all of you to use for the children that you engage with. I mean, literally, something that I do want to share. Our core product is completely built with research. We work with Stanford University, Dr. Bruce at Stanford that heads the early childhood neuroscience department there. We work, so we in-house educators, scientists, etc., to design something that we know will work for the children, okay? And our goal at the end is that they learn. And so we want to make sure that whatever we put out is something that will add value to their everyday life and help you teachers to actually do what you do best. Okay, this is not a product and as a company, I said, not even just one product. As a company, we don't believe we're replacing the educators out there. What we're saying is a lot of the states, one of the biggest challenges they have is they don't have teachers. Is that exist, be able to reach a lot more students and children out there. So anyway, keeping it short, we currently, just for the people that is India for us, we are okay, and we're partnered with one of the largest distributors in the education space called Learning Ally in the US that will make us, this year go from 3,000 to 9,000 schools. Okay, that's a 3x that we will do in the schooling system in the US. India, we are doing like government sector being interested in what we want to offer, because again, they don't have you guys, right? So they don't have the teachers available in all the schools across India, and as such, they want a way for us to provide a platform to be able to use a teacher that's remotely available, maybe to teach these children across India. And we're talking about 30 to 35 million children in the pre-primary and primary schools all across government schools in India. But anyway, I think I just wanted to give a view of how important India is for us as a company. And how important education and literacy is for us, as not just as company, but also executives of the company, because we are not hired or we don't work for this company just solely for being executives and growing it, but we really, all of our executives actually believe that there is a social cause in what we do. And we want to be able to spread that to millions of kids across the globe. So we're here to make sure that happens. And Chandar is, again, leading that charge from this perspective and doing a great job of it. So I'm going to end it here. I think I've taken a lot more time than I wanted to, but thank you again for all the panelists, all the guests of honors. Thank you, Chandar, for putting it together. And again, once again, thanks to all the teachers and educators out there that are making everyday life possible for us. I don't even want to say this forum. Without that education, without that learning, I don't think there's anything we do or say that we don't owe thanks to all these teachers and educators out there. All right, Chandar, over to you.
Yeah.
You're home during the lockdown or lockdown with the SquareTales reading app. Turn your child into a confident and independent reader with the SquareTales reading app from Panda. A unique app that uses technology to mix fun stories and engaging characters into a reading and learning experience like no other, week on week. This week, the kids are reading a new book. So what are you waiting for? Download the free SquareTales reading app today.
Thank you, Ashish, for joining us and sharing about your perspectives. We now go forward to the program of the day, as the participants have been eagerly waiting for the learnings, and it's a fun learning program. One request from me to all the participants today: we want the chat line to go like a whirlwind. It's like to be a London Eye. It has to move so speedily. And we need to have a lot of questions being thrown to you, and we need your participation on the chat lines. Before we start with the program of the day, I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Santlani to share his time with us, and Mr. Ashish Jalani to join with us. And we move over to the next part of the program. Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Thank you.
Before you take our leave, one line from you, sir, please.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you, Corona warriors. Thank you for being there. Hang in there. Times will come, and I'm sure, I mean, we will all meet soon, and you will see your children in the school buildings ultra soon. Stay safe, stay home, and see you on
Thank
the
you,
other
Ravi.
side.
Thank you. Ashish, one last line from you before we take your leave.
Again, I think more than anything, we owe all of our gratitude and thanks to all the teachers out there, all the educators, coronavirus warriors. But again, like I said just right before this, we owe everything that we do, we say, to the educators out there. So let's make sure that we don't thank them just on this forum, but every day that we see one of them, right? So thank you again. Thanks, Chandra. Thank you.
Thank
This is for both of you, Ravi sir and Ashish sir. I just read from the chat box. All teachers are replying and conveying, yes, we are ready.
Right.
So big thumbs up to all the teachers.
Right.
All right, great.
Fine. So friends and teachers, now we start our program of the day. We welcome Lieutenant Colonel Swift to start with his thoughts on the fun learning part. Colonel sir, ready as ever, and we look forward to you in the red shirt today, sir. I missed out on being in competition with you, sir. Sir, unmute, please. Yeah,
सुबह
here.
सुबह मैं ही मिला तेरे को हैं पीछे करने के लिए. First of all, thank you Ashish, thank you Ravi. It's been wonderful hearing from you. And I wanted to ask Ashish a question if he's there.
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
still
there?
there.
I'm here, Colonel.
Yeah, can I say, yeah. Ashish, what has been the single biggest learning over the last 7 weeks when two of the biggest nations in the world have been in lockdown? One lesson from a humanistic perspective, one lesson as a leader of Square Panda.
Well, the tricky part is if there's one or two, we could talk about what those are and how important those are. But one lesson, I think, and again, I'm going to echo what I've just been saying. I think the world just suddenly realized the importance of the teacher, the importance of people that they've never put forth, and not just teachers, but the doctors and others, right? We talk about the achievements of so many others, right? And the achievements of the ones that work behind the scenes. People have just realized that actually they're the ones that are making us run, and really behind the scenes, they're running this. And I think that is the biggest learning that the world is seeing, beyond everything else, right? Forget science, forget technology, forget everything else. But that, I think, is the biggest that they're seeing, that the behind the scene guys are actually important and critical to how we operate as
in
human
fact,
beings.
I saw one of the CEOs mentioning that I've taught my children for a week. My salary should go to the teacher. I'm fed up in 7 days. I can't survive here with my abilities of being a teacher. So that perhaps more than anything else signifies how we respond to it.
Absolutely, sir.
And to out online ever replace the conventional teacher, but the pandemic out, we are in for a very difficult stop-start academic year, and we require to look forward in terms of how the next 6 to 12 to 18 months pan out. And I think SquareTales and Square Panda have a huge role to play, especially with the advisories coming up saying that children under 10 will be the last allowed into school. So the role in a blended manner, what Square Panda and SquareTales can do is enormous. And I look forward to you and the team leading it. Thank you,
absolutely. Sir. Thank you so much, Colonel.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, my initial points, I can see people wanting to follow me in social media. No, I am not on Facebook. I do retain my thoughts and sanity by not being on various social media forums. Good morning, namaskar to each and every one of you. And yesterday was Buddha Purnima, and when Buddha Purnima was on, one of the greatest teachers we have ever had talked about being less reactive, more responsive, the ultimate importance of being a learner in the best way possible. So before Kajal takes over and rocks the stage, I have a set of one of you who are putting it across all over here. First question, I want you to keep answering. How has lots of work, happy family time, lot of new experience, learning, huge learning, proactive, rediscover, happy, revisit, life-changing, me time, learning through doing, save, innovative, learning lots of things, challenging and time for others, stress, recall, meditation, anxiety, introspection, good quality with time, very challenging, learning, challenging, spending time with brother, new skills, nightmare, in webinars, can be stopped. You are going faster than I can read. My second question to all of you after this question, we'll move over to Kajal. Second question, yeah. Drastic change in life, etc. Learning, understanding realities. I'm reading them. They are coming faster than the speed of light. My second question is to all of you. When do you think schools will reopen? Your gut feel. When do you think schools will reopen? October, September, October, September. After Diwali, not before November, September, October, September. Online will open June 2021, September, October. It's going on. It's more or less. Now, freeze it here. Please think. These schools, Independence Day, great. After monsoon, great. Not this year. Let's go to the corollary to the second question. As of now, all advisories are for children below 10, not coming to school anytime sooner. So, schools are not priority, as somebody said, with all precautionary measures. Kadambari, precautionary measures. I invite you to be the principal of the school. I will start and do all the precautionary measures. How it will be, presently even God does not know. Voice is breaking. Somebody says, Vishaka. Chandra, just have a look at it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Kajal, can you?
Yes,
right.
We can hear you, sir. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, good. So my next point is, when children below 10 will not be formally by the governments not allowed to come to school, how will you keep the learning going? When that is going to happen with limitations of screen time, limitations of engagement, limitations. We have only 17% of India having internet for children. Parents starting to work, wives, mothers starting to work. It's going to be a tremendous challenge, and that is where SquareTales and Square Panda come into play. They're extremely well organized platform, and also the content they are giving will give you the way to move forward. The teacher cannot be replaced. The CEO, Chandar, myself and Kajal all agree to it. I will request you to give some thought to this as to how the next 6 months for preschool children will pan out. Think over it. Let me have those answers. With these initial thoughts, rather than me giving some new gyan, for all of you, 1697 of you to think, and hundreds, thousands more on Facebook as well as otherwise, I'll hand you back to Kajal. Kajal, you rock. Yes. Please start your session now.
Learning to read was never so much fun. Help your child acquire reading skills starting at home. Get your child reading and learning with the SquareTales reading app today and turn them into confident readers for life. Each book slowly increases the level of learning following a sequence of phonological awareness, so your child becomes an independent reader. All this while the child is playing. Download the SquareTales reading app today.
Yeah, all yours.
Yes. Thank you so much, Colonel Shekhar. as all the teachers, like we have almost 1700 students, 1700 teachers. So that's commendable. We are very happy for all the teachers who are listening to us. Let me give you a little brief about today's session and what Colonel Sekhar wants to bring on the panel. And he is not only looking at the schools right now from the educational point of view, from the skill sets point of view, but he is trying to bring a wider aspect, like we as educators, we as teachers, what is our role from now on, and how you can even name it as job readiness. Okay, let me give you a little overview of today's session. Of course, we are going to talk on how the education will become fun through these educational games. Of course, when we bring in such elements in our school, it becomes an adventure. But now we have to try all these things sitting at home, connecting with children online, and we need to explore many online stuff for this little, of course, for primary and secondary. That's what to entire teaching fraternity. And let's
Kajal,
yes,
ma'am,
sir.
can you be a little slow?
Yes,
The voice is breaking. Can you be a little slow? The chat line is just going down. The voice is breaking. Please, a
Okay,
little slow.
okay. So, am I audible now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So we will be bringing in all these aspects live with the question, like when will school?
Kajal, you have to disconnect and join back. There is severe disturbance in your line. Take your 1 minute. I will speak till then. Take your 1 minute, disconnect and come back. Is all fine. How do you sustain this initial momentum over the next 6 months when restless children will be at home? The COVID-19, the numbers today are close to 55, 60,000. They are doubling every 11 days. We all want things to be positive. Please answer this question. All these 1720 educators, you have anyone is doing it. Good. I am glad that people are answering honestly. Chandar, congratulations. You have made an effort. People are being honest. So, how will you make this no into a yes? What are the things you require for a safe school to work? Let me have each one of you giving one point. Continue doing that. Continue putting. How will you do it? Sir, we'll advertise your Square Panda. Wow, Chandar, listen to what they are saying. No, this is the kind. Okay. So, yes, glass walls between rows. Yeah, we'll talk about teacher salary. That will come a little later. That's not part of what the moderator's role is. Kajal, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
You can.
Sir, there is a question from the teachers. I can read the chat box. There is a, how can we take smart board classes using online medium?
Yes, I mean, just the way you are doing this webinar, if you are smart enough, if you have a smart board at home, or you can remotely connect a smart board. How am I talking to Chandar? How is Kajal talking to me? How Kajal went off, came back, somebody else handled it. It is all possible. People are coming up with a lot more ideas. Those ideas, please hold it, because Kajal's competence as what she's going to bring in. Let's have some games from you, Kajal. Let you bring in the teachers before I go to the more serious aspect. For the next 10 minutes, it's all Kajal Chatija. I am going to mute myself and stop showing my red shirt. Otherwise, Chandra will get angry.
No, sir. Some teachers say you are looking handsome today. There's a chat in the box.
मैं ही तेरे को मिला, रवि को और तेरे को. God bless you. Please continue, Kajal. All yours.
Yes. So, dear teachers, here are a quick questionnaire for you all. So you just need to answer yes or no. Come on, the countdown begins now. As sir said, is it possible to create a game? Yes or no? So you just, is it possible to create a game with the available resources at home? Yes or no? Yes, I can see yes. The second one, once we create the game, is it possible to develop the curiosity in the children to learn? Yes, I can see yes. It goes on, yes. Now, the third one is it helpful to maintain the span of attention through these educational games? When we want to, make them learn, it will increase their span of attention with our efforts. Yes, I can see all yes going on. Excellent. Now, the fourth one, very important, and listen to me very, very carefully. Will it affect the discipline? When we play games, will it affect the discipline of the class? And if we are, skilled enough to handle, yes, they say no, excellent. Sometimes it depends on the activity. Sometimes yes. So it might affect the discipline, but it will create the curiosity in the children, and the learning will become adventure for them. Yes, very good.
Please be a little slow. When you speak fast, the voice goes off. Be a little slow and maybe some space away from your laptop. Yeah. Now it's perfect.
Yeah. So are these games not useful for teachers, or should only focus on direct teaching? So I'm asking, are these games not useful for the children? Useful. Kids enjoy. Yes, they are useful. So for this, the another one is it required for a teacher to be creative always, or anybody can create a game? Yes, as I can see, yes, anybody can create a game, and there is no need of a person to be creative if you are thoughtful enough, and if you have urge to teach, you can. Okay, now the interesting part of these educational fun element is to keep the children engaged. Will this, fun games will be able to engage our students? Will it ensure? Yes, I can see yes, goes on, of course. Will it help in emotional development of the children? Yes. And very important aspect, will we be able to help develop social and intrapersonal skills? So we are also thinking from the point of view to develop 21st century skills when we go online, right? Of course, initially it was very difficult for the teachers to go online and teach, but as Colonel Shekhar rightly said, and even in the beginning, Ravi sir also said, like, yes, our teachers are real heroes. They are doing a commendable job, and they are there to help our children, right? So we are going to bring in all these aspects and how we'll develop these yes, as I can read, they are the real warriors, they are the front liners. So as I can see it, yes, it was difficult in the beginning, but our teachers are right there, and they are learning all the new tools of technology, which is commendable. So I salute to all the teachers, and as we can see, we have more than 1700 teachers right now live listening to our session. And as I can see, yes, we need to adapt new forms of online learning, and the learning curve never stops. That's what I can read. Thank you, ma'am, for your inputs. uh, so now coming back to the interesting activities based on LSRW: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and how these square tales, these stories, can help our children. Okay, so will it be helpful to develop the LSRW skills through these square tales, which are available online? And if we, share these stories full, yes, and I hope that Chandar sir will be, sharing these tales with our teachers as well.
Early literacy is the foundation for all learning. Building on this foundation, our mission at Square Panda is to help every child succeed at early literacy. One of the things that parents may not always be aware of is that learning to read is an extremely complex skill. Not only from a behavioral perspective, where children have to attend school for many years to learn how to read, but also from the perspective of the brain, where some profound rewiring needs to happen to enable skilled reading. One of the other things that I want to emphasize is that it is very important for children to really get engaged and have fun with the reading process. That is what ultimately will drive their intrinsic motivation to keep coming back and keep learning.
Okay, so coming back to the topic, that yes, through the chat box should go on. So will these games will develop math skills at different level? Will it be helpful? Will it be will be able to develop math skills, and it also builds their memory power, enhances literacy, and gradually it will start developing their own small dictionary. As we always say that everybody has their own dictionary in their mind. If agree, please say yes. Yes, brain development. You got it right. So these children, right from young age, will develop having their own dictionary. When we introduce our little stories, when we interact with them with the help of listening and reading, they will have their own little dictionaries. Okay, and then how it will be helpful, see, when we teachers connect with our children. See, education will go on, it will not stop. But very important aspect we are forgetting is the emotional quotient of the child. Being with the child, helping him out, and they have their different, mindset, their mood swings. See, this lockdown we have accepted, but think from the child's point of view, like whether child is knowing about it. So let's be their friends, let's explain them about this concept. And for now, as an educator, what I personally feel that we need to be emotionally attached. Okay, of course physically we can't be with we are not with them, but emotionally we can. If you agree, please say yes, and the chat box should go on yes. So emotional quotient is to be handled by our teachers. And see, gradually what we are looking at, that may it be schools may not open for next 6 months, but we really need to be ready, and we ensure we need to ensure their physical, just a minute. Your speaker is not working. Please check your connection. Just a minute. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. So we just need to ensure that our children's physical, mental, emotional growth happens in these 6 months, and they develop their cognitive skills, their thinking skills, isn't it? The, and we teachers, we need to develop our curriculum in a very, very scientific manner that nurtures the child, and the learning should go on and it becomes enjoyable to continue learning. We need to come up with certain different ways of learning. Okay. And even we need to, first we need to think critically and logically how we are going to connect with our children, how this learning is going to take place. And very importantly, once we are able to get back from for the new session from June onwards, we need to prepare our plan of action. This goes for all the teachers. Teachers, do you agree with me that we need to prepare our plan of action for the children level wise, may it be pre-primary, primary, secondary, or to the university level? If it, what will happen if it goes on, as sir had thrown the question right at the beginning, what will happen if the school will not open and when it will open, isn't it? So now is the time for all of us to think in a broader aspects and bring in those elements so that the learning goes on. And the way we were handling, these games in our classrooms, we need to handle these educational games sitting at home and connecting with them through these online, as sir said. Yes, can be done. Coming back to Colonel Sekhar, sir, please throw light.
Yeah, I will go ahead. Yeah, there are a couple of questions also coming up. Meantime, Kajal, you are making a lot of sense, but this breaking is still creating a problem. Sure that your connection is better.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah. There are two questions.
Yes.
Most of the parents, Shubhangi, will start their work from June, and some children might not even have the gadgets to attend live sessions. What is the solution for these children especially? Madam and all the teachers, pre-primary children are not going to be in school for the next 6 months. That's what we started off with. 2, if I am going to claim I have the answers to all the questions, I do not have. 3, every day things are changing. How schooling will happen will itself be revisited. 4, when you do not have live sessions to be done, that is where Square Panda, SquareTales, and what you create and share offline, asynchronous manner is going to impact. Children need not study at a particular time. They'll study at different times. Second, I truly agree all these games, Umawala, option in such time, but it all depends on the parents supporting children. Yes, yes, yes. Parents have become co-teachers, especially for preschool children. And the challenge with hyper helicopter parents is they are also going overboard. It is important for preschool teachers to get the balance right. There are parents who are saying, my child will study for 24 hours a day, and please tell me how you are assessing him or her. Assessment for preschool now with this? Complete nonsense. Get on with it. 2, how do you balance screen time? 3, for balanced screen time, for balanced understanding, how do you merge the preschool teacher who is available? How do you merge the technology and the content which is available? And most importantly, the socio-emotional learning of the child comes first, always, every time. Please support parents when the child says, I do not want to study. Chodo yaar, abhi padhna kya hai? Yes, we all make money out of our schooling and life, but the well-being of the child is super important. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough. We are unaware as to what stress the child is going through. This time of COVID, the last few months and the next few months are going to impact the child for the rest of his or her life. Preschool teachers have a huge responsibility. A pediatric association of the US says that maximum of 1 hour screen time is to be given. Can you adhere to that? No. We have to get into new norms and new thoughts. These are the answers to the two questions. Now, for these 1800 teachers, I have a new challenge. You have been with us for the last 7 days. You have been wonderful in supporting each and every one of us. I felt inspired into the session, and I am aware that these sessions have had huge impact. Now, let me see the impact as to what has come through to you. These sessions, the use of Square Panda, your own imagination, and this is inspired from Education Week. Please write 100-word stories of something good, positive, which has happened through these workshops, through interaction with your students. 100 words. I want each one of you. The best, I suppose Chandra will support me, will be used and published by Square Panda and SquareTales. Am I with you?
Yes, sir.
Chandra?
Absolutely. Yes. Sir.
Yeah,
Definitely.
everyone doesn't have online, we know. Please write 100-word stories or 50-word stories. Please do that. Let our chat box and the question answer box be filled with it. And the one whom I will select, the top 3, I will read them out. Stories will be taken. I repeat what I am saying. What have you learned over the last 45 days? I am not interested in I learned breathing, mindfulness, etc. I am looking at 150-word stories which has impacted the children positively. I'll give you an example. A student was very difficult. The teacher tried his or her. So difficult. Christmas time, the child came back, used the cover sent by the teacher, something on that cover, and gave his teacher $1. The teacher cried and I want is today, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Can we through Square Panda, SquareTales, can we through these 1800 teachers get some outstanding positive stories, 50 to 100 words? Your time starts now. Back to you, Kajal, let them do it.
SquareTales is our research-based storytelling product. Young children with hardly 8 letters can start reading a book with this product. It's a digital product. On a tablet, a child can by themselves, or with the help of the parent, can practice blending words together, and that leads to them actually reading the book. SquareTales also combines both digital and physical. The child first learns to read on the digital book, and then can transfer that knowledge to read a physical book itself. And again, all of this by spending only 15-20 minutes a day with each book or as they progress through the books. In the schools that we've been working with, we found that children within a few weeks are starting to become more independent. They're actually starting to read their textbooks. They're starting to pick up other pieces of newspaper articles and starting to read, or trying to read, let's just say, very quickly.
It is Roma Tanna who says, my only concern is when we were teaching in the school, we used to advise parents to avoid screen time showing tab. But if we introduce them, I hope there is no issue or something like that. See, the times have changed, ma'am. Till yesterday, you were in the complete control of what the children were learning in the school. Today, unfortunately, you cannot be with the kid all the time. Second, just as I would say today is Friday, I stick to it till today night 12 o'clock. Tomorrow morning I can't say today is Friday, right? the day changes, my statement will also change. I'm not saying that my ethics change, but times change, and you say today is Saturday, tomorrow, right? So this is a new normal coming in. One, all the content which was being provided by the parents was not curated by you. You were not aware what the parent is showing to the kid. Now you are in a position as a doctor to prescribe what the child can see. And if you give a qualified prescription to the parent will be really happy. As in the morning, Ashish said, one of the CEOs in the house for 7 days, and he just thought, okay, I cannot handle my kid. The same is the story. There are a lot of what we say memes going on. If the doctors and the scientists don't find a vaccine, parents will definitely find, because they want the children back in the school. So yes, this is a new norm. Uh, you please check our system, and then also you can just go and check it and then prescribe it to the kids. So that was one question which I really specifically wanted to handle. And the other thing is, one question coming up, we don't know the new kids and how we are going to have a interaction with them. So in this situation, maybe the teachers can just have a interaction time with the kid. There is no need the teacher to teach every time. The teacher just being around in the life of the child is going to learn on his own. Maybe when you have some one-on-one sessions with the kids, just relax with them and maybe chat with them. It's not necessary that you need to give a download all the time. So today's session also, we are very specifically kept for an interaction with the teachers. We could have given download this game. All things are available on Google. We want to be a facilitator for you in your life. And that's why I'm seeing a lot of new stories coming up for Colonel Sir. I think so. Colonel Sir is busy reading them. Till that time, we hand over to Kajal ji to continue with her.
Yes. Yes, as I can see the chat box overflowing with the queries and
please stop your video because it's still lingering.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible. A little slow would always be much better for the people. Yeah.
Yes.
And Mansi Malik in a studio.
Yes, I can see in the chat box, people are asking questions, how to enhance, my child's reading skills. So as Sir said, Google is available. And on top of it, Square Panda, SquareTales YouTube channel is there for them to view and enjoy reading and even listening at the same time. So as Loretta says, I have built self-confidence. I can face the screen. Yes, this is another one now. See, we were not acquainted with this form of, way of teaching. Now teachers are facing the camera with lot of confidence and with lot of ease. Yes, this is a new normal for the teacher. Do you all agree with me that yes, with this, there are positive sides as well? Our teachers are getting ready for future. They are facing the camera. They are handling classes online. Yes, I can see the chat box. It is the correct time. Somebody has said it is the correct time for us to explore. Yes. Yes. You want to add something, Chandar sir? I just heard it. Yeah. So that's what they are saying, that in these last 45 days, it has changed, and let's embrace the new norm, the new normal, and let's welcome with a lot of positivity. And once we are settled, of course, we will pass this message to our children as well. Yes. And then I can see there is a challenge for the teachers, those who are not aware. I can read this, not aware with the platforms. I will come back to the for this, we need to explore. We need to, it's all about trial and error. Keep trying, these Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams and Zoom. So we need to explore and learn how to share the screen, how to sing with them, how to teach phonics. So these are the skills which we need to develop. And I will just share with you my personal experience. Now formally our summer break is going on. One parent had written one email, ma'am, please continue with the online classes during June as well, because I'm not able to handle my child. So these are the areas which we need to look into. Parents need our help. Parents need teachers.
Over to Colonel Shekhar, sir.
Right. It's been, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Really,
Absolutely.
yeah, really worked hard to improvise my skills. Our schools had arranged for a WeConnect video, sat right through the night to the it has been a hugely emotional experience. Teachers saying I got scared. SquareTales helped me with these online sessions, clarify. Parents supported us in a major manner. One of our students messaged me, ma'am, you're always with us. We love to hear all the panelists. Yeah, forget our kudos. Let me share something which happened with me when I was part of a lot of panels. What has taught us is, we had a set of teachers, all of them, 12 of them coming in. The best what I felt was one teacher messed it up badly because something collapsed. You moment seamlessly without others even knowing it. The other teachers jumped and supported her. And that for me was an exceptional example of cooperation and leadership. But I'm also looking at more stories in the sense, can you write into, yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. Third, I said somebody was talking about wedding rings. Some children don't even understand. These 45, as it is, learning never stops. I have learned a lot from SquareTales. I have learned to explore more things. Every house, every teacher is a parent, etc., etc. But I am looking at that one specific story which we can publish where the child saying something, the parent saying something. Today in my Gujarati class 5th standard, I taken Zoom and my supervisor tells me I was worried, I became confident. Parents name a few calamities from outer space. It's now testing times. We are all following it up. But I am looking at stories which is between the parent, the child and the teacher, which can be published. A day at the camp, Leila and her brother Khalid are together at home after a long time. They laugh together. Schools are closed, but there is work to be done. They go to collect clean water for the family, for washing and cooking, to do it. Both brother and sister help mom and dad with chopping vegetables. Yeah, those are the kind of stories we look for, which make a difference. Please remember, tell those parents, girls are not for chopping vegetables, boys are not for cycling. Boys can chop vegetables, girls can cycle, and vice versa. If through this time you can teach them, make them understand gender sensitivity. Policemen can also be police women. Nurses can also be men. Army officers can also be women. Teachers can also be men. Chandar has also got a wife. There are people of all kinds coming in. Men, women, and all of us come on it together. Chandar, I think the session has gone well. Congratulations to Square Panda, SquareTales, Ashish and his team. You have done a fantastic job. Right. I will take the last 5 questions through your good offices. People can ask questions, and after that, I think we should close. Back to you, Chandar, if Kajal is not.
My kid is like every other 5 years old. She loves being active, she loves to play, she loves to be naughty all the time. But she won't really read. All that changed when I introduced her to SquareTales.
SquareTales is basically an interactive platform.
It actually makes herself learn. Just the 10 minutes of it and she grasps everything. It just contains of 2 or 3 letters in the words. She speaks it so clearly.
For beginners, it's very important to learn to read. And then in a later stage, they read to learn.
He is learning correct words, correct pronunciation, and his vocabulary is increasing. I am happy he is able to blend the letters and he can read.
She had started reading small sentences and making her own sentences.
So it's more of a fun for him.
The child would love to play with this since it's with full of characters and colorful.
They start with guided reading digitally, and then they move to independently reading the physical version of the same book.
The activities and the readings and the books they are giving, it's all based on the neuroscience research.
It's a digital world, of course, so the child would love to play with iPads and phones and all. And they are willingly learning with that.
And I don't feel guilty about giving my daughter the screen time.
I heard about SquareTales online and I just had to try it out.
I'm really happy with SquareTales, that it is giving that overall development to my child.
As in a whole, I'm really very happy to make this decision and gift her SquareTales.
So I am very happy with this SquareTale, and I highly recommend for the parents to go for it.
I'm waiting for more to come in.
And I'm so confident that this product will help my child to become successful and more advanced.
That was incredible, sir. You had put in wonderful efforts, and I hope our teachers had, benefited from this session. And as you said, that we will be taking up, 5 questions. So I will just help you out in reading those questions. And as I was checking the chat box, teachers want to know which are the, portals available for them, which should be easy, and children should become, you can say, confident enough to join themselves.
Children required to be supervised. Up until the age of 18, please make sure children study in an open arena. Check, supervise them, give them space, check but verify, trust but verify. 2, there were questions about young children, 1 hour, etc. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for it because learning has to happen. But what is the balance? In this scenario, when you are inside home, when you are not able to move around, children cannot play. What are the other challenges? The jury is still out. 3, even more importantly, when you are checking what the child is doing, parents have to learn to become co-teachers, have to understand the decisions taken by the teachers and support them. These are the 3 things I would advise parents to do and teachers to do. Ensure supervision of your child, control screen time, do it in an open arena, don't do it inside a room where the child is doing it on its own. Put in parental controls on your systems. This would be my answer.
Yes.
Yes.
So as sir said, parents' supervision is must. We must support our teachers, and whatever is coming to us and whatever limited resources we have. And as sir said, we need open areas, not in the closed rooms. Use your balconies and available resources which you have. And sir, the next question what I can see is, like as you said, the screen time. Now the new normal is we have to, show this screen to our children. But how to ensure how much to show, and this timetable needs to be set by the parents under the supervision. So do you, sir, will you please guide on how much, screen time is okay for the children?
Yes, very much so. First of all, screen time, in the name of learning, they are going overboard. पढ़ाना है, पढ़ाना है, पढ़ाना है. उसको खेलने दे यार, इतना पढ़ाने से कोई फर्क वो नहीं पड़ता है. The point I would insist on is, when there is no learning outside of the school happening, be mature about your screen time in the sense that how much the child can hold with attention, with the support of the doctors you know of, keep the balance right. My general sense would be about an hour and a half for the preschool would be more than enough, at about 4 days in a week. That would be the best I would look for. some nuances here and there. There is one question, it's already here. Understanding the world, how do we take this online preschool? Excellent question.
Learning to read was never so much fun. Help your child acquire reading skills starting at home. Get your child reading and learning with the SquareTales reading app today and turn them into confident readers for life. Each book slowly increases the level of learning, following a sequence of phonological awareness, so your child becomes an independent reader. All this while the child is playing. Download the SquareTales reading app today.
Connect with the student. In the schools I'm consulting, first is connect with the parent. 2, connect with the student. I would recommend that every student need to be talked to by any one teacher for 120 seconds a day. Connect, and the child should be able to share everything, including that his mother beat him up today. If that confidence and trust you can bring in your child, you are a superstar.
Colonel sir, I would just go back 2 steps behind. You had asked for a story.
Yeah.
We have one Miss Pooja Pujari.
Yeah.
Pooja, we would like to know your email ID and mobile number in the chat box also.
Yeah.
She has read a nice story.
Yeah, I will read that. Pooja Pujari. One fine night, I had a dream. In fact, I'll make that into a story, and that's where we will end with Kajal's permission. One fine night, I had a dream. And you know who peeked from the window? Oh, it was. I asked him, what is he doing? He answered with smile. Chandar sir sent me to convey something to you. With my closed eyes and low tone, I said, oh Panda, I just finished with my house chores, and now what do you have? He said, I have a Zoom session with me arranged by Square Panda, and you have to support and be with us. I've started watching it, and you know, hey presto, I've learned to face the panda, how to smile, how to keep away from the monkeys and our thoughts away so that we can concentrate, as our teachers say, learning the meaning of COVID. And you should not be scared and negative, but yes, keep communicating with optimism, mindfulness, innovation, and develop the curiosity to learn. Chandar, it's been wonderful. Pooja, Pujari, and everyone. Somebody has written life is like a crayon box filled with different shades. And suddenly I have 87 more messages to read. Jesus Christ, how will we finish doing this? Right?
Live story session.
Live story session. Yeah. I will answer one more question. There is a new child admitted to my class, not ready to interact. The parents are concerned. I have this answer only. Patience. Reach out to the child. You will win. Yes.
As you said, in this, progression, we all have to support our children. We need our teachers alert, on their toes, and parents supervision. Thank you so much, Mr. Chandar, for all your inputs, and your efforts are visible. As I can see, we have reached the number of teachers who are with us. And even the chat box is overflowing, full of gratitude, and which I can see that it was a wonderful session, full of stories, life stories, drama, and lot of insightful and how to go ahead in this pandemic. This was commendable. Thank you to Colonel Tikar. Over to Chandar sir.
All good things in life really come to an end. So this session with all the teachers across the country also comes to an end, but every end has got a new beginning, and definitely this is a new beginning for us. Come back with a new format, maybe in a still better way. We'll still bring in more people on the floor for multiple times, because now the teachers are just writing multiple things. Handsome sir, we like you, the way you explain, the gratitude to you. So we are not going to leave Colonel Shekhar sir in any time. The next webinar series, we are going to make it still more interesting, and we will be communicating to you through emails, through the numbers provided to us. And we also request you to send in the WhatsApp messages. The best thing, but please download SquareTales and consume it. There is a free version going on, and it can help to those parents who are yet to send their child to the school, to help the child learn in a meaningful way to communicate. Before I end, I just want to share one story. We were in Chhattisgarh, into a remote area, into such a place where your car also cannot drive to the town or to the village. We had to drive the car from a riverbed. And once we were almost stuck also in that space, we went across the river. We went to the tribal area, children who did not have clothes to wear, proper clothes to wear. And we gave them tablets and we gave them SquareTales to read. And believe me, post a 2-month intervention, the child was able to read storybooks from a physical printout of what was given on the digital space. So that was something, even a tribal child who was not knowing English as a language where Angrezi is written in the timetable, was able to read an English story on his own, that too which he had not read. He just learned the phonics from story number 1, and from the story number 2, 3, 4, he could read. So that's the impact of SquareTales. So please use this medium during this time and get your children to get into a communication mode.
From the creators of the award-winning English Early Literacy Phonics Playset, we bring to you a research-based, revolutionary and cutting-edge English reading product. SquareTales combine digital learning with physical application, transforming your pre-readers into independent and confident readers. Your child starts instantly from our bookshelf. Our patented blending engine helps your child blend letter sounds to form words with only 8 letters. Once they practice the words, they can start to read along the story through a very engaging and interactive interface. Several engaging activities at the end of each book help the child revise what they have learned.
Good job!
And while the children revise, our product assess their learning. Just try SquareTales 15 minutes a day to see a stark progress in your child.